Ladies and gentlemen, do you feel that doesn't matter what sensitivity you put, doesn't matter what you move in Battlefield, but your sensitivity just doesn't feel right on control? Like your aiming just feels completely off. And I figured out the secret settings that you need to change and the best numbers to put it on so you can feel as smooth as if you were playing any other FPS game. Let's jump right into this video. So when you go into the main screen like here, it always felt like moving left or up and down was never uniform, right? And moving in circles just always felt weird, or it felt delayed sometimes. So these are all the settings that you need to go. So first up, go into options and then go into controller, right? In controller schemes, we don't have anything. Now we got to go all the way to on foot. Once you're here, this is the sensitivity to have it at. I have it at 44 aim sensitivity, and I think that's a pretty decent sensitivity. My field of view, for some reason, I saw this Jackfrag set it, but 80 doesn't feel like 80, so I like 80 here. But this is where things start getting a little bit interesting. All right, here is the soldier aim sensitivity, right? So the sensitivity while you're aiming, I lowered this down a little bit, so put this at around 85. You definitely want it to be a little bit slower than your normal one. And here is the secret setting. All right, this is the thing that makes you feel completely weird and why it's not aiming. These numbers were set at like 50. I don't remember what the numbers were at, but this is not what it was at. So basically what this vertical aim ratio and vertical zoom ratio do is that if the numbers aren't at 100, that means that the horizontal and the vertical aim will feel differently, right? So let's say at 100, your horizontal, as it says right there, your horizontal and your vertical will feel like it's this exact same value, right? So let's say if you're playing Warzone, you know how you got horizontal and vertical sensitivity. This is what it is. So again, I have no clue why these values were different, but these values aren't really what it says. So it says here that at 100%, the values will move the same, right? So whether you move left or whether you move up, the sensitivity will feel the same. But when it comes to the crosshair, that is not the case. And I figured that 70 was the perfect way to move. So if I move my controller all the way to the left, this is what it looks. And if I move it all the way to the up, this is what it looks. So you can do uniform circles with this. I put it at 100 and it really wasn't the same. And I'll show you why. So if I go all the way down here and I got it at 70, right? And I bring it back to 100, the vertical aim ratio is when you got a crosshair, like without aiming. And then the vertical zoom ratio is when you're aiming. So I'm gonna put it at 100, right? And look, this is just way too slow. And look at when I go up and down. This up and down is a lot faster than this. This is as fast as I can go. Like this is moving my analog stick as left as I can go. Do you see how this is not uniform at all? So if you're like trying to do circles, that's why it just feels really weird. So like tracking somebody horizontally felt really weird. And then when you're tracking somebody above, it was just completely off. So I don't know what these numbers mean, but for me, honestly, I felt that, look, just aiming to the left is really slow. And then obviously if I go here and I change it to 70, and again, I just found that 70 was the sweet spot, and that is where it worked. Again, I don't know why these numbers are not correct, but now once we go into 70, as you guys can see, my aim is a little bit faster, and then but this is more uniform, right? So my aim here is not as fast, but look at that. This is my vertical. This is as fast as I'm going. So it basically brought them together. So put your number at 70 and it will bring both your horizontal and vertical zoom to basically like the same point. But now that is not all that you need to change. Go into options as well and you can change the dead zone. Now this is the part that feels like delayed, right? Where you're moving your analog stick and it reflects in the screen a little bit later. This is due to the dead zone. Now I didn't want to put it all the way to 0. Again, you can put all the way, I just felt that 5 was a good one. And I don't remember what number it was, but I do remember that it wasn't at 5. So put the center dead zone at 5 and set this to 5, and you will definitely have a less delay when it comes in here. And then these ones just don't even touch it. But you can maybe bring it down even like to 3, something like that. And again, just do check if you have like any dead zone issues or anything like that. But yeah, this is what I have it at. And again, my sensitivity isn't that fast, like 44 isn't that fast, but I just noticed that this game isn't like Call of Duty where you're bunny jumping and moving like crazy. I feel like your sensitivity needs to be fairly slow to kind of like really pinpoint targets and really have good accuracy in this game. Oh my god, somebody just ran me over. But yeah, I believe those are all the changes I made. So the soldier sensitivity, the field of view there, and soldiers. Oh, also I almost forgot here, if you go all the way to the bottom on foot, you get all the zoom sensitivities, right? So I kind of treated this like I treated I actually need to up this up a little bit. I kind of treated these like I treated battle Call of Duty, so where you have like high zoom and low zoom. That is kind of like how I treated this, and reason why it works like that is I just felt individualizing like each one of these would be a little bit harder. So for example, all the way up to like my 4x zoom, 3.5 zoom, I had it at 75, and then as you guys can see, the other ones are at 80. I like to have my my high zoom just a little bit higher in sensitivity, but I would suggest you do this the same. So like separate them in parts and kind of like tag them all together and group them all together. Again, this just takes you a little while, but these are what my values are at right now. And then you could have actually uniform aiming. That means like if you turn this off, as you guys can see there, just turn it off. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of weird, but yeah, this is how I have it. And then zoom transitioning, I just make this on as well. So as you guys can see here, this option only affects legacy soldier aiming. Uniform soldier aiming already does smoothing automatically as a part of a procedural calculation. So when you're aiming into zoom, that means that you'll have like a smoother transition. But from that, I believe that is everything that you need to change. Again, the biggest ones, like even if you don't feel comfortable, the biggest things that you need to change that really affect is this right here. The vertical aim ratio and the vertical zoom ratio are the two numbers that will affect how you feel about the game when you just feel that the aim is just completely off. That is what it will be. But yeah, let me know down below in the comments if this helped you or if you also had this issue. Peace out, everybody. I'll see you all on the next one.